In this video, we will understand Coolcare training compliance components. We'll know how to add a qualification, know how to add a mandatory training need to a group position, know how to view an employee training record and to add employee past training to this record, know how to use the training compliance widget, how to use the training exception report to improve training compliance. The training compliance widget can be accessed by clicking on the dashboard and then scrolling down to training compliance. This widget helps you manage training compliance within your care home. It can be filtered either by staff or by qualifications. On the left hand side it shows incomplete courses, on the right hand side it shows courses expiring soon. Courses on the left hand side show employees who have not yet had this training, or they've had the training and it has expired. If these have not yet been booked into the future, they will show in the left hand column. If these incomplete courses have been booked into the future, the number will be shown in the second column. The third column shows an overall total for incomplete courses. On the right hand side is courses that are expiring soon. Here, again, this will be broken down into not booked and total. You can use this training compliance widget to see at a glance which staff or which qualifications need you to take action. If any courses are shown as not booked, what you must do is go into Staff Reports and run the training exception report. This will produce a CSV file. Click on the CSV file to open it. Once open, highlight all of the data, click on Data and select Filter. You can then use filters and sorts to decide who will be going on the training within the calendar. For instance, if you went into qualification name and you selected Adults with Incapacity for Scotland, press OK. It would show all of the employees that need to have this qualification. In the issue column, it will show who has this qualification that is expired, who has not yet achieved the qualification, and who has a qualification that is expiring within the next 8 weeks. There is also a column to show which of these courses are booked. You could also apply a sort by surname. Here it shows all the courses that Shoaib Ali must attend. You can also use the sort function to put all the qualifications in alphabetical order. You could print this off and then put the relevant employees onto the courses in the calendar. In order for the training compliance widget to display the correct data, several things need to be set up in the system first. The qualifications lookup, the training needs, previous training records. Once these three areas have been set up accurately, then you can use the training compliance widget and the training exception report to manage training compliance. We will now show you how to set each of these up in the system. The first thing you need to check is the qualifications lookup to make sure that all the mandatory courses exist and that there is only one instance of each course. To do this, click in Lookups and select Qualifications. To add a new qualification, select Insert. Put the course name, in this case manual handling, then choose the type, other training, qualifications framework such as NVQ Level 2 Care or statutory. In this case it's statutory training. It is also renewable. Once you click the renewable date, you need to put a valid period. In this case it's 36 months, and we're going to issue a warning 2 months before expiry. You can also put some notes in here if you wish, and then select Save. This is then available in the qualifications drop down menu to be used in the calendar and for training compliance. Duplicate courses. If you have 2 or more versions of the same qualification, but they are different providers, you will need to create a single new generic entry for this qualification. The new qualification is the one you will select as a mandatory training requirement within the relevant group position. You will then need to add this course to the past training record of any employee that holds any of the other versions of the same course. Make sure the date matches the previous achieved dates. The next thing you need to do is set up the training requirements for each position. To do this, go into Group Positions, select the position where you wish to add the training requirements to, select the Training tab, and then any courses you wish to make mandatory training, select and save. You will then repeat this for all other positions. You also must check if existing staff training records are complete and correct. To do this, go into Staff Records, select the staff member and select Training. Make sure we are happy that the training record is accurate and complete. If when setting up qualifications, you created a generic qualification for two providers of the same course, then this must be then given to each relevant employee that holds either of the other two courses. To do this, click Insert, select the course, add the date that commenced the course in the past from the previous qualification, and add the date achieved from the past for the previous qualification, and then select Save. This will then be added to the training record. If there are any courses missing, again, just use Insert and then put in the dates when the training was achieved in the past. Key points to set up. When setting up training requirements, make sure all qualifications are set up correctly, and if there are one or more duplicate qualifications with a different provider, create a new single generic course. Set the training requirements in group positions for each position within your care home that you wish to monitor training compliance. Ensure only a single course exists for each training requirement. Check the accuracy of past training records. Add any missing past training achievements. If a generic course name has been created, see the first bullet point, add this to the existing training record. Ensure dates equal the date the equivalent qualification was achieved and attended. Once the setup is complete, training compliance is now fully operational. Use the widget and report as previously shown at the beginning of the video. Add new training through the calendar, and this will automatically update the widget in real time. Once the setup is complete, the training compliance widget is fully operational. Use the widget and the training exception report to identify training needs. Use the calendar to book staff onto future training based on their training needs. The widget will automatically update in real time when an employee is either booked on a course or an employee achieves a course. Any achieved staff qualifications will no longer appear on the training exception report.